The 2022 Aston Martin DBX is the first SUV model from a historic sports car brand. And just like the early days of the Cayenne, there are likely skeptics out there who believe Aston Martin is diluting its brand by building a family-friendly SUV. Car Buzz recently spent a few days driving the new DBX, and we quickly learned that any doubts about this car being a proper Aston can be put to rest. On its first try, Aston Martin has built one of the finest driving SUVs we've ever sampled. In some respects, it even outmatches the Porsche Cayenne. Aston Martin is far from the first exotic automaker to branch out into the SUV segment. The Bentley Bentayga, Lamborghini Urus, Maserati Levante, and aforementioned Porsche Cayenne all loosely compete with the DBX, each offering a slightly different flavor of uber luxury crossover. In the US market, the DBX is only available with one engine, a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 borrowed from Mercedes-AMG producing 542 horsepower. Unfortunately, that's not the only thing Aston borrowed from Mercedes, as the infotainment is yanked straight out of an outdated S-Class. Though the interior is far from perfect, Aston Martin's first ever attempt at building an SUV is nothing short of astonishing to drive. The DBX is one of the more successful performance SUVs out there. It seems Aston Martin's design language works, no matter what body style you apply it to. The DBX is stunning in the flesh, and captures more stares than an average SUV. Aston's front-end design language works even better on a bigger car. As for the Vantage-inspired rear end, it's a love-it-or-hate-it element. Because this is a high-end SUV, you get a panoramic glass sunroof, bi-LED headlights, including LED daytime running lights, and a set of 22-inch alloy wheels as standard. You can further enhance the appearance of the DBX by doing a deep dive into the vast customization menu. The DBX shares a lot of its switchgear with the rest of the Aston Martin family. The cabin is covered in attractively stitched leather, soft touch surfaces, and a micro-suede headliner. The Ute comes standard with a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, customizable ambient lighting, 3-zone climate control, and heated front and rear seats. Desirable options include ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, and a variety of even fancier cabin materials. Rear seat space is ample, with plenty of knee and headroom for adults. There's a good amount of cargo volume, too, with 22 cubic feet of space behind the rear seat and 54 cubic feet with the rear seats folded. The standard driver assistance suite consists of adaptive cruise control, a speed limiter, forward collision warning with auto emergency braking, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, lane change warning, rear cross traffic alert, traffic sign recognition, and door exit warning. A 360-degree camera system helps the driver keep an eye on the SUV's surroundings. We touched briefly on the infotainment technology, which is housed on a 10.25-inch DFD screen. Though it looks large enough and close enough to the driver to accommodate touch controls, the only way to use this system is a Mercedes parts bin rotating controller. It's telling that all three German luxury automakers have switched back to touchscreens, and the DBX uses a more complicated scroll knob. Fortunately, Apple CarPlay is standard, so you can use Siri to enter controls via voice command. Unfortunately, as a sign of this system's age, CarPlay is wired only and Android Auto is not available at all. As a consolation, the DBX comes standard with a stellar 13-speaker audio system with 790 watts. Sirius XM satellite radio, 4 USB ports, an SD card port, navigation, and Bluetooth are included too. It's not the best tech, but at least Aston doesn't charge you an arm and a leg for it like some of its competitors. The DBX soldiers forth with AMG's 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8, and we're ecstatic about that. Mercedes-AMG is currently dealing with supply chain issues with this engine, but it hasn't impacted the DBX. As we've said before, the 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 will go down in history as one of the finest ICE engines ever made. It's turbocharged, but it loves to be revved, provides a glorious soundtrack, and feels naturally aspirated. It's a win in every possible way. In the DBX, the AMG engine delivers 542 horsepower and 516 pounds-to-foot of torque. Those specs are less than some rivaling SUVs, but plenty for a good time. A 9-speed automatic transmission sends all that power to a rear-biased all-wheel drive system. Aston claims it will do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds and will only stop accelerating once it hits a top speed of 181 miles per hour. Not bad, but not class-leading either. The Aston is more about driving enjoyment than raw performance numbers. While the DBX doesn't hurl itself at the horizon as fiercely as the BMW X5M, it delivers a more rewarding driving experience. If it matters to you, the DBX can manage a towing capacity of up to 5,940 pounds. While this adds to the practicality, it's worth pointing out that the Porsche Cayenne can tow as much as 7,700 pounds.